Hey everyone, FIFA 19 is here and we're going to speak about it in one moment. The pros, the cons. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Extra Time TV. This is Andres Soklal and today we're going to speak about FIFA 19. But before we get into that, check out our reviews of FIFA 17 and FIFA 18 right here. Also, you can check it out on our YouTube channel in the link in the description below. But unlike everybody else, we're not going to give you a long, generic, boring review. We're going to break it down into digestible bites. Pros, cons, let's get into it. So first up, the pros. The game looks fantastic. Love it or hate it, it's very, very hard to deny that the FIFA franchise has come leaps and bounds since its original version. Listen, take it from a guy who has been playing this thing since the original Super Nintendo way back in the 90s, a million years ago. But let's be real, visually the game looks great. When you install this game or buy it or however you choose to purchase it, the first visual looks stunning. The game looks very vibrant, the color scheme is very amazing, and it's not something I usually cared about. And let's be honest, the previous FIFA games weren't exactly, color scheme oriented, it was more action oriented, but the color scheme is something that really shocked me. The interface looks really wonderful in terms of the color grading they use. FIFA 19 has added very vibrant color schemes to this new game. The interface looks wonderful, and a perfect example of this is the inclusion of the UEFA Champions League. So once you get past the wonderful interface that looks just pleasing on the eye, you get into the Champions League and it looks very authentic, which is something we'll get into in one of the other points. Visually, it's stunning. You actually get a very immersive experience just by the look alone. You haven't played the game yet, but it visually looks stunning. FIFA gets top marks for the use of color grading and understanding that that's something that everybody pays attention to. I admittedly did not realize I would like it that much. So once again, EA Sports, kudos to you guys for the choice of color. Up next, the Champions League is finally here. So one can argue that the Champions League was always there, but it really wasn't. The European League was there, and those of you who play the career mode know that they didn't actually use the proper UEFA Champions League title. It's clear EA Sports did their homework and got the licenses that they needed to play this game. And wow, what a wonderful addition it is. I have to tell you, anybody who plays football or watches football, you have to admit, when you see the cinematics, when you see how the players look, when you hear that UCL anthem, the champions!
That is the voice of an angel.
Okay, that was terrible. But listen, let's be real. We love this. This is one of the things that we have been waiting for. And those of you, like I said before, who play the career mode, it's actually one of the most surprisingly immersive experiences, I thought. I actually was very scared I was going to be a cheap knockoff. I've played many FIFA games where they tried to capitalize on specific tournaments. There were Champions League games, you'll know what I'm talking about. There were also World Cup games, you also know what I'm talking about. That were honestly a bit of a cash grab and they were a bit of throwaway games. Kudos to EA Sports, I spoke about that when EA Sports actually launched an expansion for the World Cup a couple of months ago. I did a reaction to that, okay, check that out there, where they found that middle ground where instead of us purchasing another game and it came off as a cash grab, they gave us that free upgrade. And let me tell you this, the UCL inclusion is a wonderful touch to this game. The commentary from Derek Ray and Nixon is fantastic. Of course, you have the usual guys doing their thing, but they definitely add that panache that you need for the Champions League. You literally feel like you're in the Champions League. My favorite team is Inter Milan. Yes, I know, that's terrible. But I love them, and guess what? I'm playing the campaign with Inter Milan. You can do customizable campaigns. They have the updated current Champions League for this year, which is fantastic. I'm playing it right now. And it's lovely. There's custom tactics, which we'll get into. But the Champions League is top to bottom a fantastic addition. Love it. Up next, the gameplay changes. The innovations of the gameplay appear subtle at a glance, but it's most evident when you see in the context of defending, the 50-50 tackling, the jostling for a ball, is one of the first little pieces of evidence of where this game is very different. You physically have to jostle for the ball, and yes, the attributes of the player play a crucial role in this aspect of the game. No longer you can have a player that's obviously overall in his 60s, basically out-muscling and bullying a player that's obviously stronger than him. The stats do matter. Top players do perform at a certain level. You see those little things, and it's very obvious in the defensive aspect of the game. Also with the passing, the precision passing is wonderful. It's very different, it's very purposeful. There's a manual feel to it. You can no longer just carelessly pass the ball around. You have to put some thought into your passing. It's very intentional. So you can't just pass the ball over the place. The passing system is very dynamic. If you have a misplaced pass, there's factors such as fatigue, skill level, and so on. This determines the outcome of your passing. Also, the shooting as well is an emphasis in this game on timing. Before you get that ball in the box, once you get that timing right, you probably 99% of the time are going to score. This time around, the timing is an issue. You mistime that shot, you scoff, and you look really ridiculous, which is a refreshing change. The reason this game is perfect is because it enhances the imperfections of the game. Those are things that makes anybody who plays football appreciate those things. These are things that really happen in the 97th minute. If you have that much extra time, players look tired and they scoff shots. If you get it correct though, it's a wonderful thing. It's also mostly obvious in the crossing mechanics. The game actually looks wonderful in terms of crossing. You actually have to time your crosses. You could actually take crosses from deep, cut inside, and it's very rewarding when you get that timing perfect. It feels great. There's many little attributes now. Before you just get it in and maybe just tap that button and it goes in. Now there's a lot of range and various variables, not to sound too technical. In terms of the gameplay, I absolutely love it. I love the fact that they put that element where players can actually do a chip, a first touch, cut away. There's dynamic turns in the box before they take a shot. It looks visually stunning, and it also adds an element of realism. I know a lot of people criticize the changes in the defensive mechanics, but it's what makes the game feel like a new game. And that's what it feels like, an entirely new game. And I have to say kudos once again, because I'm throwing kudos out left, right, and center to EA Sports. The gaming mechanics are a wonderful touch and a welcome change to the FIFA franchise. Up next, dynamic tactics, custom game plans. I was full of praise when FIFA 18 introduced the quick sub option. It was fantastic. I could not gloat about it enough. It was wonderful. But if you guys love tactics, customizing your formations, and consider yourself a tactical master like myself, because yes, I said tactics many times, you are going to absolutely love the new features they've introduced. They've taken the customization of tactics to a completely other level. I'll be very honest. It gets me very excited. I feel like a schoolgirl once again.
Again?
Yeah. Moving along, back to the customizable tactics. FIFA has added a wonderful new set of features to this game. For those of you who love adjusting your tactics, as I said before, they've added a whole new array of customizable features. You can adjust the width of your defense, the depth, the lateral space between the players. You could have done this before with the aggression, but you could actually set the type of passing, quick passing, short passing, long passes, possession. Yes, I did say all that. And that's just to name a few. Now we have the basic features where you always had ultra defensive, attacking, and ultra attacking. You can now go in and make preset adjustments to these tactics with your players, your formations, so you can change these tactics in game. So now you no longer have that uncomfortable scenario where you have to sit down, pause, stop the game while you sit and look at your buddy adjust his tactics. Okay, I admit I'm guilty of that. So now you no longer have the awkwardness of having to stop the game, pause, change your tactics while your buddy sits down and has a drink. I admit I'm guilty of this, I know. Now you can actually, as I said before, change your tactics in-game. A perfect example of this, I was playing against someone online and they were just smacking me around. I was defending for the entire game. I switched to ultra offensive and I scored and I won 1-0. And you actually saw the players change formations, adjust into an ultra attacking formation, and it literally caught the guy off guard. It adds a total dynamic to the game where you can adjust tactics, switch it around, and you can adjust your tactics how you see fit. All of you guys and gals who have been playing FIFA your entire life basically need to know this feature because I love it. It's something I'm absolutely loving. It's something I cannot contain my excitement. I'm actually messing up the audio because I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited! FIFA, kudos to you. And now, the cons. And let's be honest, it seems like I'm raving about this game. I actually found it very difficult to find cons, but what I did was, instead of everybody else and releasing a video on the same day, I sat down and I dug in, got myself stuck into all the features, and it was very hard to find any particular area that really stuck itself out, but I did manage to find a few. The first one is the journey mode that everybody has come to love. I myself loved it a lot. You could check out my reaction to that up here. I spoke in great detail about how much I love the journey. It was a welcome touch. I actually thought it was going to be a pain, something I would not like. It actually turned out to be a pleasant surprise. But at times, it sort of lingers on. I have to admit there were times that it felt a bit repetitive. There were things that I just, didn't want to do, and I just wanted the story to move along. And it sort of dragged out. And this is me really grasping at straws here. I really think it was, a bit too long. But then maybe that's me complaining because, there was a craving nature from myself to have a bit of variety. But other than that, I mean, the length was probably a bit too long. They maybe need to add a couple other things. The interaction, which is very soap opera-like, actually worked. But basically, it was just too long. And that was one of my initial cons. Goalkeepers are still crazy. So for those of you who played FIFA for at least more than 3 years, or maybe just 2 years, or maybe just last year, the goalkeepers drive us crazy. Yes, that angry. I have to be honest, I've been playing this game for a couple years. I've been playing this particular game for large amounts of hours. And I noticed no matter what keeper you used, the keepers would be beaten at their near post in the most minor, ineffective shots. I remember I was like, this is totally safe. Boom! Ball goes in. I remember crosses coming in that seemed perfectly harmless. Headers with absolutely no power, and the keepers would just scoff at it and just drive me crazy. You saw how I go crazy. It drove me crazy, and that's an issue. Maybe I'm nitpicking, and yes, there are some improvements, but they still do crazy things. The keepers still run out and just clear the ball out. I don't like that. Sometimes the keeper can use his intelligence and cover the ball. It's an AI feature, which I don't really think they mastered. Maybe I'm nitpicking, but the goalkeepers still drive me crazy. And sometimes very savable shots they let in. So, definitely a con. Up next, errors in commentary. So let's be honest, we have Derek Ray and all these guys in the game. It's wonderful. I was full of praise for that aspect of the game, but they still make the occasional error. I remember playing the Milan derby, Inter Milan versus AC Milan, and I drew. And to my complete shock, I heard the commentators saying, "What a victory for AC Milan." I mean, this is kind of shocking because I think by now, something like the commentary would be mastered by now. It's me nitpicking, I guess, because I only heard it a couple times. There was a couple games where the team specifically drew and they said they won. And there were games that we drew and they said that we lost. It's very odd, it's very annoying for people like me who nitpick those little details. It's a very small detail, but I mean, the commentary, it's a sport game. That's something you probably should get right. I'm pretty sure EA Sports will address this in the next update, but it's one of the most glaring things that I noticed in addition to the other things. But this is a game I found myself having to nitpick to find cons. So there you have it, folks, the pros, the cons. I went through in great detail why I love this game in a wonderful, digestible, small version. Unlike the other reviews out there, which I'm not going to diss, it's just this is my unique take. I'm not going to go into great details about features that you all already know about. I could speak about that in my other reviews, which you can check out in the link in the description below. Overall, the game has more pros than cons. In fact, it's a wonderful addition to the game. FIFA has always managed to add the authenticity of players, clubs, and licenses and making it a fun experience. Also, there's a lot of people out there who like Pro Evolution. Maybe I'll speak about that. Let me know about that in the comment section below. I want to do a video on FIFA versus Pro Evolution, the pros and the cons, which will definitely be something that we'll be doing soon. So let me know what you think about that. But with all that being said, I'm not one of those generic reviewers, but as a guy who loves the game, I play the game, I've played it my entire life, I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars. It's worth the $60 US that you are going to pay, unless you want to buy the other editions, which, that's entirely up to you. People like the FIFA Ultimate Team and things like that. It's worth the money. I would buy it. The game is definitely an improvement from the previous version. Yes, there are flaws, but it's definitely worth it. And if you want to challenge me, I don't just talk. You can add me at Dracool10 on the PSN network. Let's do this. Let's do it. So with that being said, this is Andres Soklal with my latest review of the latest FIFA franchise. So be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to comment in the comment section below if you want to challenge me. As I said before, you know where to find me. So with all that being said, when you like and subscribe, you automatically qualify for a chance to win a copy of FIFA 19 from the kind folks of my store. So you'll have no excuse when you play me. So with that being said, this is Andres Soklal of EXTV signing out. Thanks for watching. If you want to check out more, look at this video. And don't forget to click the subscribe button, because when you do, one of your enemies will be destroyed.